Okay, we are going to revise paper 1 this evening. We're going to start with algebra, equations, and patterns, see how far we get. And then on Thursday, we'll do the rest, some finance, some functions, and some probability. Okay, so let's kick off with this first question. To make things go faster, I am gonna, I've got the memo, so, but I still, so that's just to make things go faster. But anyway, let's do the first question. You should work on about a mark a minute. So that means if it's a 3-mark question, it should take you about 3 minutes to do. Okay, so I've got 2 questions up there. And I think let's skip that first one because I think it is actually a bit of a grade 9 question. Let's do 1.1.2. Okay, so skip 1.1.1 and go right ahead to 1.1.2. And I am going to leave you here for a few minutes to do this on your own. If you are done, put a thumbs up in the chat so that I can see that you are done. We are a small class this evening, so make use of the opportunity to ask questions and to really get the most out of it. Okay, so Naku is done. Mayenzi is done. Kensani says they are done. Okay. I think we are out of time, everybody. So there where you are, you can go over your questions. So we're going to multiply the a into the first bracket, and we're going to get 8a squared minus 5ab. So we're just doing that, and then the minus 2 goes, oh wait, we first have to square this out. Okay, so this goes first, and it's a square bracket, which means you have to go a plus 2b times by itself, a plus 2b. You can't go a squared plus 4b squared. I know no one did that. Okay, so I'm going to square the first term, and I'm just, yeah, to save some time, when you multiply this out, you get 4ab plus b squared. And then we are left with the plus 8b squared. And we're going to carry on removing brackets and put the minus 2 into the bracket now after we've multiplied it out. Minus 8ab minus 2b squared plus 8b squared. And now it's just a matter of collecting like terms. We've got a squared minus 2a squared gives me 6a squared. I've got minus 5ab minus 8ab gives me minus 13ab. And minus 2b squared plus 8b squared gives me plus 6b squared. Right. Who got that one right? Put a thumbs up in the chat if you got it spot on. Come guys, let's move along. Who got it right? I can't believe that no one got it right. Sanaku, you have to multiply a plus 2b with a plus 2b. Then you get the 4ab because you go 2ab and another 2ab from multiplying those terms together. Okay, good. Let's carry on to factorization. Right, so what are we going to do for the first one? Can anyone tell me which kind of factorization this is? Is it common factor? Is it a quadratic? Is it something else? Put it in the chat if you know. Especially those of you who have written exams already. I'm sure you must know by now. It's grouping. Nice, Sanaku. It's grouping. Okay. So I am going to do this one. And let's see, what are we going to group together? It looks quite obvious that we can group the first two and the last two. So let's take out from the first two a 3m as a common factor, and then we have a 5 5r plus a q. And then here we can take out a minus n. And if I take out a minus n, I have a 5r plus a cube. Check if it works. Minus n times 5r gives me minus 5nr. And then minus n times q gives me minus nq. Cool, it works. So we've got our common factor, 5r plus q. That's our common factor bracket. So we write 5r plus q. And if we take 5r plus q as a factor out from the first term, I'm left with a 3m and a minus n from the second term. Okay. 1.2.1, 1.2.2. That's going to be your turn. You can do 1.2.2, and that's 3 marks. So yeah, so let's take 3 minutes to do that one. Once again, if you're done with that one, put a thumbs up in the chat. Try to be done before 18:18 because that's 3 minutes and it's 3 marks. So work on a mark a minute. Okay, we have got time up, so it's 18:18. So we've got x to the power of 4 minus 8x. So we're going to take out an x as a common factor to start with. And then we have x cubed minus 8. X cubed minus 8 is the difference of cubes. So we need to factorize it as that. So we can say x minus 2. So we take the cube root of the first term and the cube root of the second term. Then to make my second long bracket with 3 terms, I times the x squared by x by itself to get x squared, then times the minus 2 and the x together, and then change the sign, and then square the last term. Okay, so that's literally a mark for taking out the x, and then 2 marks for doing the difference of cubes. Who got that one right? Put a thumbs up in the chat if you got it. No one. Thought as much. Definitely thought someone got that one right. Good. Well done, everybody. Okay, let's go on to 1.3. This time for 1.3.1, put your answer in the chat. What type of number is the square root of k plus 6 if k is minus 2? So work out what goes under the square root if k is minus 2 and what type of number you get if you take that square root. Pop it in the chat. 1.3.1, what do you think? Yes, you might get 2, but you need to say what type of number you get. type of number, meaning is it real, is it rational, is it irrational, is it an integer, etc. Yes, that's right. We get a 2, which is a real number. And then for 1.3.2, if k is -10, what kind of number do you get? Pop it in the chat for 1.3.2. That's right. If k is -10, then we get the square root of -4, which of course is non-real. Okay. Right, let's go on to our equations. Okay, first one's up. We're going to do them one by one. So just do 2.1.1 for now, and we'll check back in about 3 minutes. What did you get? Remember, if you are stuck, ask a question. If you don't want to raise your hand, then put it in the chat. Pop it over to Miss Nelly. Many ways to get your questions answered. Kamogelo did that one very quickly.
That was fast.
Nate hot on his heels. Yenzi is done. This old news. Okay, one more minute, everybody. Those of you who are done, you are most welcome to carry on to 2.1.2 and 2.1.3. Right, let's have a look at 2.1.1. Because there's a 7 here and not a 0, we need to multiply these brackets out. So we get x squared plus 6x is equal to 7. Take the 7 over because this is a quadratic equation. So we're going to factorize it. Remember, with a quadratic equation, the 3 terms of the equation stick together on the same side. And we get x plus 7, x minus 1 are the factors. Kensani also agrees, so we get x is minus 7 or x is 1. Let's see. Give yourself a gold star if you got that one right. Pop it in the chat. Gold star if you got it right. Nice, Kamogelo. Come, who else? Who else is there? Got a gold star for this one, Lichle. Well done. And Munete. Penelope, Mayenzi, well done, everybody. No, it's not fine because you won't get the same answer. So you got to check that you get -7, but that it's not +1 and -7, because +1 and -7 will give you -6. And you need a +6 in the middle. Okay, so make sure your signs are right. Okay, let's go right ahead to 2.1.2. 5 times 2 to the x is 320. What are we going to do first? Put it in the chat. What are we going to do first? Oh, it's 2 to the 2x. To solve this, what will be our first step? Who knows? Sandile says move 5 to the other side. Snog says divide by 5. Yes, I agree. Let's divide by 5 and get 320 divided by 5. Good stuff, everyone. And that is 64. And now what can we do from here? Okay, so this is an exponential equation. If we divide this by 2, we're going to complicate things quite significantly because it'll actually just be 2 to the 2x minus 1. Sandile, Sanaku, yes, you guys. So we're going to make this 2 to the power of what? Power of 6. No problem, Tiomu. And now that the bases are the same, we can say 2x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 3. Yay. Okay. I love exponential equations. I know I might be the only one, but I love it. So you did do what I just did, but you meant something else. Okay, no problem. Okay, let's see. What is the 6-mark question here? It is an inequality. .3. Okay, just because we're a little bit pressed for time, I'm going to do this inequality. So we've got 1 minus a half x minus 2 is smaller than 2x minus 2 divided by 3. First thing, let's get rid of these brackets. And we go minus a half with x is minus a half x. And minus a half with minus 2 will make it plus 1. And I think, okay, so now we can simplify. We can get rid of the over 3 timesing by 3. We've got lots of options here, but we actually, what we need to do is not just times by 3, but times by 6, so that we can get rid of the 2 as well. Okay, but let's simplify this side first. Go 1 and 1 is 2 minus a half x. So it is a 6-mark question, so it might be difficult, but it might just be a lot of work. And I think it's probably just a lot of work. Okay, so let's times by 6 right through to sort out the fractions. If I times by 6 on this side, I need to times by 6 on this side as well. So make sure that you do that. Okay. So 2 times 6 is going to give me 12, and then minus a half times 6 is going to give me minus 3x. And here, if I've got this as a 3, it can divide, so I end up only having to times by 2. x minus 2. Okay, and that gives me 4x minus 4. Okay, we're going to take x's to one side, numbers to the other side. I'm going to take the minus 4 and plus it on both sides, and plus the 3x on both sides. So that's going to give me 16 and 7x. Yeah. Okay, and then to get the x by itself, I'll divide by 7. So x is, whoops, shouldn't switch sides here. 16 over 7 is smaller than x. Righty. So that's just an inequality. Just a bit of work getting rid of the denominators and the fractions. And then it says illustrate your answer graphically. That means you have to draw a number line. So we can go, here is 16 over 7. And x is smaller than that, so it goes to that side. Right. Okay, everybody. So let's go on. I want you to practice your simultaneous equations. So let's go on to 2.2. If there's any questions about the previous one, just pop it in the chat or raise your hand and unmute. Otherwise, let's go to 2.2 for your simultaneous equation. We're going to check back in after you've done your simultaneous equation at 18, 37. And as always, when you are done, put a thumbs up in the chat. No problem, Vutsilo. Whatever you miss, you can catch up on the recording as well. We are doing question 2.2, the simultaneous equation. Okay, our time is up for question 2.2. Maybe what you started doing was to multiply out, but there is an easier way to actually do it. So here's your options if you multiplied it out. So if you first said that x is 4y plus 2, and then you substitute that into your brackets, and you have to multiply your brackets out, and you get y is negative 2 over 3, or y is negative 6 over 13. And once you've done that, you need to find your x's, so you substitute back in. Okay, you could have done it that way, or you could have, right at the start, notice that this part is a quadratic. So you can just go x minus y is equal to 0, or 3x plus y is equal to 0, and then x is equal to y, or in this case, x is going to be equal to minus y over 3. And you will then take those two answers for x and substitute it into this equation, the x minus 4y is equal to 2. So if x minus 4y is equal to 2, let's just write that down here. Then you replace it, this x, with the y, because x is equal to y. And then we get a minus 3y is equal to 2, and then y is negative 2 over 3, which is the same as what we got over there. And then you'll do the same for this answer, where x is negative 3y, so negative y over 3, so negative y over 3 minus 4y is equal to 2. And we'll simplify that, and I think we get negative 4 1/3, and then y is going to be equal to negative 16 over 3. Okay, and then you sub back in so that you can get what y is equal to, what x is equal to. Okay, who got that one right? Or who was close? Even if you were close, just give yourself a gold star for that. If you made a little mistake somewhere, let me know. Manyenzi says they were so close. Anyone else got close? Even if you got it right. Sandile got it right. Well done. And Lichle also got very close or got it right. Good stuff. And Vochilo got it right. Well done, guys. You really on fire here. So I think for the next question, we're going to start it. We might not be able to finish it, but let's give it a go anyway. What we don't finish, we can definitely put up, and you guys can do screenshots of that. Okay, so this is from November 2019, a paper that was set by the department. All of these papers, by the way, are set by the department, so you get a good idea of what you can expect, the Department of Education. Right, let's see. Who can tell me, put it in the chat, what is the next term in the pattern, question 3.1.1? Emmanuel says 5x plus 7. Let's get some more answers. But Chilu says he's seen this one before. then you know what to do. Okay, yes. So 5x plus 7, well done, everybody. So we see that the x's go 2x, 3x, 4x. So next one will be 5x. And then it's plus 1, plus 3, plus 5. So it makes sense that it will be plus 7. Okay, now, write in terms of x, the formula for Tn, the general term of the pattern. Let's see if someone can come up with that one. In terms of x, my clue is going to be first work out what the difference is, the constant difference, by going 3x plus 3 minus the first term, 2x plus 1, or you can go t3 minus t2 as well. You should get the same thing. So do that first. And if you need sort of reminding of what formula you can use, it depends on what you were taught at school. Maybe some of your teacher already showed you A is A plus N minus 1D. Maybe you learned AN plus C, whichever it is, you can use either one of those. Sandile's done this past paper. Well done, Sandile. It's so good to do past papers. It really is such good prep. Okay, so I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes. See if you can come up with the general term for the pattern. Because you do need that part to do 3.1.3 and 3.1.4. Okay, Camujelo's taken a stab at it. Okay, just make sure you understand what the question's asking. It's asking for the general term of the pattern. So how would you work out any term in this pattern? What is the formula for that? So if you're getting the x plus 2, you're definitely on the right track, but that's not the end of the story. It never is it? Maths is just, there's always more. More surprises. More riddles to solve.
But the best thing is the logic doesn't change. You're still gonna have to use the first term. Here I have the common difference. So it's still the same thing. It's just that it's a little bit different.
Yes. Okay, if anyone's got it, please put it in the chat. It would be really nice if one of you got it. Otherwise, I am going to continue just for the sake of time. If you don't want to hear, then just carry on working and put me on mute. But or don't look at the screen. But our first term is 2x plus 1. And then there's the n minus 1, and then our constant difference from working this out, and I think quite a few of you did that, that's x plus 2. And now, of course, we need to simplify this. 2x plus 1. This we're going to FOIL. So we get xn plus 2n minus x minus 2. And then we can simplify. So the 2x minus x is x, plus 1 minus 2 is minus 1, and then xn plus 2n can't simplify, so we just leave them as is. We can get fancy and maybe group things together or take out a common factor of n. Doesn't really matter. I don't think you need to go that far, but that's going to be your final answer. So now that we can use to work out any term. So it says here, if the value of the 13th term is 95, calculate the value of x. So we can take this now and say, okay, so my Tn is 95. This 13th term is 95. X is what I'm solving for, and my n is 13. So I can replace my n with 13. Okay, so that leaves us with a very sort of easy linear equation to solve. X minus 1 plus 13x plus 26. And I'll put x's together and numbers together and take it to the other side. So 95 plus 1 minus 26 is equal to x plus 13x is 14x. And what we get is 95 minus 25 is 70. And then x for that, we'll divide by 14 and we'll get 5. X is 5. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put up the rest of this memo here. For those of you who want to go on and still finish 3.1.3, we are out of time. So you can take a screenshot, sorry, 3.1.4. You can take a screenshot of that and use it for revision. This is from a, like, who said they did this paper? Sandile. So Sandile, as she can contest or sort of testify, not contest, testify. This is from a past paper. So it's important to do past papers, guys.